January 4th, Genesis 12 through 15. And Yah said to Abram, Go yourself out of your land, from your relatives, and from your father's house to a land which I show you. And I shall make you a great nation, and bless you, and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I shall bless those who bless you, and curse him who curses you. And in you all the clans of the earth shall be blessed. So Abram left, as Yah had commanded him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the beings whom they had acquired in Haran. And they set out for the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan. And Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as the tabernacle tree of Moreh. At that time the Canaanites were in the land, and Yah appeared to Abram, and said, To your seed I give this land. And he built there a slaughter place to Yah, who had appeared to him. And from there he moved to the mountain east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west, and Ai on the east. And he built there a slaughter place to Yah, and called on the name of Yah. And Abram set out, continuing towards the south. And a scarcity of food came to be in the land. And Abram went down to Mitzrayim to dwell there, for scarcity of food was severe in the land. And it came to be, when he was close to entering Mitzrayim, he said to Sarai, his wife, See, I know that you are a beautiful woman to look at. And it shall be, when the Mitzrayites see you, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they shall kill me, but let you live. Please say, You are my sister, so that it shall be well with me for your sake, and my life be spared because of you. And it came to be, when Abram came into Mitzrayim, the Mitzrayites saw the woman, that she was very beautiful. And Pharaoh's officials saw her, and praised her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he treated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep, and cattle, and male donkeys, and male and female servants, and female donkeys, and camels. But Yah plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, What is this you have done to me? Why did you not inform me that she was your wife? Why did you say, She is my sister? And so I was going to take her for my wife. Look, here is your wife. Take her and go. And Pharaoh commanded all his men concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. Genesis 13. And Abram went up from Mitzrayim into the south, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him. And Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the slaughter place which he had made there at first. And there Abram called on the name of Yah. Now Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. At that time the Canaanites and the Perizzites dwelt in the land. And Abram said to Lot, Let there be no strife between you and me, between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. Is not all the land before you? Please separate before me. If you take the left, then I go right, or if you go to the right, then I go left. And Lot lifted his eyes, and saw all the plain of the Yarden, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. like the garden of Yah in the land of Mitzrayim, as you go toward Sor. So Lot chose for himself all the plain of the Yarden, and Lot moved east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram dwelling in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelling in the cities of the plain, pitched his tent as far as Sodom. But the men of Sodom, were evil and sinned before Yah, exceedingly so. And after Lot had separated from him, Yah said to Abram, Now lift your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward, and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see, I shall give to you and your seed forever. And I shall make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could count the dust of the earth, then your seed also could be counted. Arise, walk in the land, through its length and its width, for I give it to you. So Abram moved his tent, and went and dwelt by the terebinth trees of the Mamre, which are in Hebron, and built a slaughter place there to Yah. And it came to be in the days of Amrael, sovereign of Shinar, Arioch, sovereign of Elazar, Kedor La Umor, sovereign of Elam, and Tidal, sovereign of Goim, I think it's actually Goim, that they fought against Bera, sovereign of Sedom, and Bersha, sovereign of Amorah, Sinab, sovereign of Admah, Shem-eber, sovereign of Tseboim, and the sovereign of Bela, that is Sor. All these joined together in the valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served Kedor La Omer. In the 13th year they rebelled. And in the 14th year, Kedor La Omer and the sovereigns that were with him came and struck the Rephaim in Ashtaroth, Karnaim, and the Zuzim in Ham, and the Emites in Saweh, Kiryathim, and the Horites in their mountain of Seir, as far as El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they turned back and came to En Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and struck all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites, who dwelt in the Hatzethson Tamar, and the sovereign of Sodom, and the sovereign of Gomorrah, and the sovereign of Admah, and the sovereign of Tseboim, and the sovereign of Bela, that is Sor, went out and joined together in battle in the valley of Sedom against Kedorlaomer, sovereign of Elam, and Tidal, sovereign of Goim, and Amraphel, sovereign of Shinar, and Arioch, sovereign of Elazar, 4 sovereigns against 5. And the valley of Siddim had many tar pits, and the sovereigns of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and the remainder fled to the mountains. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their food, and went away. And they took Lot, Abram's brother, who dwelt in Siddim, and all his goods, and left. And anyone who had escaped came and informed, and one who had escaped came and informed Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre the Amorite, brother of Ishkol, and brother of Aner, and they had a covenant with Abram. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed 318 trained servants who were born in his house, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. And he and his servants divided against them by night, and struck them, and pursued them as far as Hobah, which is on the left of Damascus. So he brought back all the goods, and also brought back his brother Lot and his goods, as well as the women and the people. And after his return from the striking of Kedor Omer, and the sovereigns who were with him, the sovereign of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shewe, that is the sovereign's valley. And Malkitz, I think this is Melchizedek, sovereign of Shalem, brought out bread and wine. Now he was the priest of the Most High, Melchizedek. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High El, possessor of heavens and earth. And blessed be the Most High El, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. And he gave him a tenth of all. And the sovereign of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people, and take the goods for yourselves. But Abram said to the sovereign of Sodom, I have lifted my hand to Yah, the Most High El, the possessor of the heavens and the earth, not to take a thread or sandal strap, or whatever is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich, except only that the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men who went with me, Ener, Eshcol, and Mamre, let them take their portion. Genesis 15. After all these events, the word of Yah came to Abram in a vision, saying, Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield. Your reward is exceedingly great. And Abram said, Master Yah, what would you give me, seeing I go childless, and the heir of my house is Eleazar of Damascus? And Abram said, See, you have given me no seed, and see, no one born in my house is my heir. And see, the word of Yah came to him, saying, This one is not your heir, but he who comes from your own body is your heir. And he brought him outside and said, Look toward the heavens, and count the stars, if you are able to count them. He said to him, So are your seed. And he believed in Yah, and reckoned it to him for righteousness. And he said to him, I am Yah, who brought you out of Kasdim, to give you this land to inherit it. And he said, Master Yah, whereby do I know that I possess it? And he said to him, Bring me a 3-year-old heifer, and a 3-year-old female goat, and a 3-year-old ram, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took all these things to him, and cut them in the middle, and placed each half opposite the other. But he did not cut the birds. And the birds of prey came down on the carcasses, and Abram drove them away. And it came to be, when the sun was going down, and a deep sleep fell on Abram, that see, a frightening great darkness fell upon him. And he said to Abram, Know for certain that your seed are to be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. But the nation whom they serve I am going to judge, and afterward let them come out with great possessions. Now, as for you, you are to go to your fathers in peace. You are to be buried at a good old age. Then, in the 4th generation, they shall return here, for the crookedness of the Amorites is not yet complete. And it came to be, when the sun went down and it was dark, that see a smoking oven and a burning torch passing between those pieces. And on the same day, Yah made a covenant with Abram, saying, I have given this land to your seed, from the river of Mitzrayim to the great river, the river Euphrates. With the Cunite and the Kenizzite and the Quadmonite, and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Raphaim, and the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Girishite and the Jebusite. Have a great day.